Tonight on Eagle Angle, new class size requirements have faculty and students concerned about the future of some programs.
President Trump plans to make the Space Force the 6th branch of military.
And Addie Clift becoming the 5th OC player in history to score 2,000 career points. All of this and more right here on Eagle Angle. Hello and welcome to Eagle Angle. I'm Kate Rampey.
And I'm Mandolyn Skipworth. Eagle Angle is a student-produced newscast live from the campus of Oklahoma Christian University.
The Talon broke the news yesterday that Oklahoma Christian University will be changing their standards for class sizes. The new numbers that teachers will have to meet to have a class on the roster is now 15. If this number is not met, the class will not meet in the fall of 2019. Chief Academic Officer Scott Lamaskis was quoted as saying, "A class below 10, in my view, is not an optimum learning opportunity. 15 is the number that many elite universities that are highly funded use. And what I want to do is keep the broadest possible array for programs for the most number of students. If we let one program start getting really out of whack in terms of running small courses, it's unsustainable." For more, we go to Becca Koshorik.
Students at Oklahoma Christian are expressing concern for a new guideline for enrollment management intended to be implemented in the fall of 2019. This guideline would urge deans and other university officers to only teach courses with 15 or more students enrolled.
It's important to understand that when you call something a policy, it makes it sound like there are no exceptions, it makes it sound like it's set in stone. It's not that. And my impressions are that whenever there is a need for a university to respond to changing conditions, the university is better served to do that. And so I think it's a fine idea for the university to investigate all avenues that might be pursued in order to make the university as sound as it possibly can be.
Many students in smaller degree programs are wondering what this will mean for their education and the future of their programs. Some believe this gives preferential treatment to more popular programs with larger class sizes.
I feel like a rule like this is really favoring the big departments that already kind of get favored on campus already. So, I mean, everyone knows which ones have the most people in them and which ones get the most attention.
In both majors, I've had a lot of classes with less than 15 people, but especially in the history department. And so I was concerned because a lot of those classes have like 8 people, 6 people, and it's how are we going to get those credits and that education. And then also, what are they going to do with those professors and things like that? So I was very concerned about not just my future, but also the future of my department and my fellow students.
I think that the small classroom environment has really helped my personal education, and so that I don't get lost in a bunch of numbers of students.
The university is hoping the new minimum enrollment standards will improve retention and graduation rate among students.
I fear that sometimes when students hear about this kind of a thing, there's a panic that sets off. And I hope that the students and everyone else here at the university wouldn't be in panic mode. I think they would just recognize, okay, the time has come to take a look at the way things have been done and just ask the question, is this the most efficient way to do it?
For Eagle Angle, I'm Becca Koshorik.
Spring Sing is just a week away. The shows will be on March the 1st and 2nd, where the social clubs on campus will be showing off their hard work. For all the happenings, tune in next week for an in-depth report from Becca Koshorik on the directors of the shows and what to expect.
Due to the snow and freezing rain yesterday, the Spring Sing Torchy's night was moved to tonight from now until 8 p.m. If students go to Torchy's Tacos on East 2nd Street tonight and show the Spirit Night flyer, then a portion of your food order will go to help the Spring Sing Philanthropy Project. This year's project is Hearts for Hearing. If you need a flyer, simply look for the most recent SGA email or send an email to page.arter@eagles.oc.edu.
OC is in need of students who are able to drive vans to shuttle clubs to and from Memorial Road Church of Christ for Spring Sing. Showtimes are Thursday the 28th from 6:30 to 10 p.m., Friday, March the 1st from 7:30 to 10, and the following Saturday at 1:30 to 4:30, as well as 7:30 to 10 p.m. Students will be compensated $25 per show and will also get a free Chick-fil-A meal before each show. If this is something that interests you, email shaylin.riddell@oc.edu and fill out the form in student announcements.
SGA is hosting a private screening of On the Basis of Sex at Cinemark Tinseltown. This movie is based on Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her life, early cases, and the fight for equal rights. The movie is on Saturday, February 23rd at 8 p.m. Tickets are $1 cash and are available for students now in the SGA office right next to the business building.
On Tuesday, President Trump signed the new directive called Space Policy Directive 4, which put into motion Trump's proposed Space Force. For more about the Space Force, we go to Kim Hutcherson.
Today, I'm thrilled to sign a new order taking the next step to create the United States Space Force.
With a swipe of his pen, President Trump puts gears into motion to begin creating the sixth branch of the United States military, the Space Force.
The Space Force will organize, equip, and train the next generation of warriors to deter aggression and defend the nation.
The new directive, titled Space Policy Directive 4, calls on the Secretary of Defense to draw up a legislative plan to submit to Congress, establishing the structure and authority of what the Space Force will be. The president says he expects Congress will support the plan.
Space, that's the next step, and we have to be prepared.
There's been debate on whether the Space Force will fall under Air Force control. President Trump has stood firm that this will be a completely new branch of the military. Air Force leaders worry a majority of their space-focused airmen will be taken away.
And we've been in a robust debate, as you imagine, and sort of where is the right place to land. I will have a Space Force chief, then I'll be the Air Force chief, and then we'll work for the Secretary of the Air Force.
I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
President Trump's national emergency at the southern border is now being challenged by a coalition of 16 states, stating that the emergency is unlawful and unconstitutional. Natasha Chen has more.
The states and organizations suing the Trump administration have one major argument. The Constitution says Congress is supposed to decide how taxpayer money is spent. But on Friday, President Trump declared an emergency at the southern border, tapping into various funding sources to build a wall.
If the president is essentially stealing money that's been allocated to go to the various states for various purposes, but no longer will, we're being harmed. Our people are being harmed.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra is leading a group of 16 states in a lawsuit filed Monday night. President Trump responded in the Oval Office Tuesday.
And I think we'll do very well. We have absolute right to do that. I have an absolute right to call national security. We need strong borders.
He predicted on Friday that he'd be sued in the Ninth Circuit.
And then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court, and hopefully we'll get a fair shake, and we'll win in the Supreme Court.
Legal experts say it might be difficult for plaintiffs to fight on the basis of the emergency declaration itself. The president has a wide discretion over what constitutes a national emergency. But a key question is whether the statute President Trump has invoked, which in this case requires the use of armed forces, can be used to fund the wall. In Washington, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
Bernie Sanders, as well as many other Democratic candidates, are gearing up for the 2020 presidential race. For more on the presidential campaign, we go to Ryan Nobles.
Bernie Sanders is back.
Hi, I'm Bernie Sanders. I'm running for president.
This time around, though, instead of serving as the foil to an establishment frontrunner, he enters the Democratic primary as a top contender.
This country needs a political revolution.
And those policies that made him unique the last time, like Medicare for all, a $15 minimum wage, and free college tuition, are more widely embraced in the Democratic Party of 2019.
You know what's happened in over 3 years? All of those ideas and many more are now part of the political mainstream.
But even though Sanders may have laid the groundwork, the progressive lane of candidates is filling up quickly. And with plenty of options for liberal voters, the problems with the previous Sanders run are becoming more apparent. Sanders was trounced by Hillary Clinton in the South, in large part due to a lack of support from African Americans. He has already visited the key early voting state of South Carolina, making a specific pitch to black voters.
We have a president intentionally, purposely, is trying to divide us up by the color of our skin.
He is also making an effort to change his campaign's culture after accusations of sexual harassment in 2016.
I certainly apologize to any woman who felt that she was not treated appropriately, and of course, if I run, we will do better next time.
Meanwhile, the growing field of his opponents are finding ways to contrast themselves with the Sanders campaign. Elizabeth Warren applying pressure from the left by pushing a plan for universal child care.
We're going to be talking a lot about child care and early childhood education. That's how we make real change in this country.
Kamala Harris making sure Democratic voters know she, unlike Sanders, is actually a Democrat.
I will tell you, I am not a Democratic socialist.
While Amy Klobuchar pitches pragmatism over purity on causes popular with a progressive base.
If I was a magic genie and could give that to everyone and we could afford it, I would.
All reflecting the new dynamic Sanders faces as he mounts presidential bid number 2. One he hopes this time will end with a different outcome.
What's going to be different this time?
We're going to win.
Former FBI Acting Director Andrew McCabe has acknowledged that he was interviewed by a special counsel team concerning Russian ties to the president. Jessica Schneider has more.
Andrew McCabe making it clear that in the days surrounding James Comey's firing as FBI director, McCabe and others within the Justice Department explored the possibility the president was working as a Russian agent.
Did you suspect the president might actually be working for Russia?
We thought that might be possible. We had information that led us to believe that there might be a threat to national security. In this case, that the president himself might in fact be a threat to the United States national security.
That fear prompted McCabe to launch a counterintelligence investigation into President Trump in May 2017. McCabe said while Comey's firing sealed the deal for a decision to launch a probe, the case had been building for some time, telling The Atlantic, "The fact is, we were building to this point for months before Jim was fired." McCabe now says he briefed the top members of Congress, the so-called Gang of Eight, on the same day Robert Mueller was appointed as special counsel to alert the top Democrats and Republicans that he had launched probes into the president.
I told Congress what we had done.
Did anyone object?
That's the important part here, Savannah. No one objected, not on legal grounds, not on constitutional grounds, and not based on the facts.
The White House again today reiterated its rebuttal of everything Andrew McCabe has asserted.
He's someone who has, as we know, has been a political hack, and you shouldn't put politics into the FBI.
As McCabe makes the media rounds on his book tour, he's also talking about what's not detailed in his new book, his discussions with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein about invoking the 25th Amendment, and Rosenstein's alleged offer to wear a wire to record the president.
No, it wasn't a joke. He was deadly serious.
But McCabe later stressing no plans were ever set in motion.
It's something that we talked about but never seriously considered. It seemed like such a overwhelmingly risky and unnecessary thing to do.
This concludes your national news segment. Up next, Jonathan Cleverton has your full weather report. Stay with us.
Hello.
Hi, I'm from Blue Hood Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come
on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end pieces of the zucchini and then the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flour. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that,
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta, a different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
Action!
Jonathan Cleverton joins us here in the studio. John, what kind of weather can we expect this week?
Well, we got some good weather coming up, but first let's take a look at what it is right now. Right now we can see that it's 50 degrees outside. It's sunny, it's feeling good. It feels like 47, there's a slight wind chill, but nothing too bad. So overall, we're looking good. Let's take a look at what it was across the state of Oklahoma. We could see that in Ponca City, it was 37. Tulsa was 51. Salsa was 50, and a broad range of 52s, 55s all over the southern portions of the state. Lawton was the highest with 59, and so was Altus. And let's not forget Guyman, which was at 47 degrees. So overall, a decent way to spend the day in Oklahoma with 50s. Let's take a look at what it is going to be like tonight. Tonight we can see that it is going to drop to around 37, not as cold as it has been the past few days. However, it's still going to be a little chilly, so make sure you dress up for that. Winds will be coming from the east at 8 miles per hour. Not a lot of wind, considering it's Oklahoma, and the humidity will be up to 75%. So a fairly decent evening in Oklahoma. Not too bad, but not too cold. So let's take a look at the weekend weather highlights. The weekend weather highlights. There's going to be some storms this weekend. PM showers on Friday, which will lead into AM thunderstorms and windstorms on Saturday. High temps around 54 degrees for Saturday, so be prepared for that. And like I said, the winds will be up to 25 miles per hour, so it's going to be really breezy out there. Maybe take a kite out or something like that, who knows, after the thunderstorm. But let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-day forecast. 5-day forecast, it's going to be 55 degrees Thursday, cloudy with a low of 37. And like I said, PM showers on Friday with a high of 48 and a low of 45. So not a big difference there. We're going to shoot kind of up. We're going to raise temperatures by roughly 6 degrees with a high of 54 and a low of 28 with those AM thunderstorms on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be around 51 degrees with a low of 32, partly cloudy, and then we're going to end out off the week with partly cloudy on Monday with a high of 57 and a low of 36. So we're not jumping around temperatures that much. Temperatures are slowly rising as we're getting ready to go into springtime, and these storms will be coming around more often. So be prepared for that, and it looks good. That's all I got, Kate.
Thank you, John. Coming up, we've got Brennan Spear with the full scoop in entertainment.
Stay tuned.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome to the Entertainment Corner. I'm your host, Brennan Spear. Starting us off this week, rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine pleads guilty to racketeering and 8 other charges after being arrested back in November. At a hearing on January 23rd, Tekashi admitted to being a member of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods and that he had helped them rob people at gunpoint. Tekashi also said, "I helped members of 9 Trey attempt to kill a rival gang member." He could be facing anywhere from 47 years to life imprisonment, though if he cooperates with investigators, there's a chance of lessening his sentence. Now, Logan Paul was back in the news this past week, but not for something he did this time. This time it's because of a mural of him found in LA where Paul is hanging by a noose while wearing the same outfit he was in his Suicide Forest video from last year. For those that don't know, at the beginning of last year, Logan Paul made a video showing him going into the Japanese Suicide Forest, and he ended up filming a dead body that was there. Paul made many jokes during the video and was highly disrespectful, causing major backlash toward him from the YouTube community. Due to there being a rainbow patch on his outfit in the mural, some are saying that it is a direct attack on the LGBT community, though if one knows the history surrounding Logan Paul, it becomes fairly obvious that it is an attack on Paul himself. Now, Shane Dawson released a new video this past week over more conspiracy theories, including one revolving around the popular kids' pizza place, Chuck E. Cheese. The conspiracy that he tackles is that they supposedly reuse pizza slices that customers don't finish by putting them back in with other unfinished pizzas. The reason for this is that the pizzas never seem to make a perfect circle and that the slices always seem to be uneven. Dawson even went to Chuck E. Cheese's himself to see if this was true, and the pizzas he received did indeed appear to be uneven. Chuck E. Cheese released a statement against this, saying the claims made in the video about Chuck E. Cheese's and our pizza are unequivocally false. Our pizzas are made to order and we prepare our dough fresh in restaurant, which means they're not always perfectly uniform in shape, but always delicious. Now, this Mass Sunday, Memorial Road Church of Christ members weren't the only ones responding to Pastor Phil Brookman's message. During the sermon, Brookman was discussing how depersonalized people's lives are, now using the fact that even shopping has been reduced to simply saying, "Alexa, order toilet paper," in order to do our shopping. Memorial Road member Bethany Begno had stayed home from church with her sick child and was watching the church's live stream when she heard from the other room, "Okay, I've added it to your cart." Becknell checked her Amazon account, and there it was, a 60-count package of Angel Soft toilet paper amounting to nearly $28. Even the Amazon Alexa is moved by Brookman's impactful sermons.
Life to be easy. You don't even have to get out of your house to go to the store any longer. You just have to say, "Alexa, order toilet paper," and it shows up at your door 2 days later.
After hearing about Alexa's response to the sermon during first service, Brookman then tried this out in the second service Sunday morning, though no one has said if she has responded yet.
So 3 people reached out and said, "Phil, I was watching your sermon at home, and when you said, 'Alexa, order toilet paper,' Alexa actually ordered toilet paper." And so one of them sent me his Amazon shopping cart. Now you can show this. It says, "Phil, you owe me $27. In fact, I was thinking about what I could do with this newfound power that I have, and so I'll try this out. "Alexa, donate $500 to Memorial Road Church of Christ."
That's all I've got for the Entertainment Corner this week. Now let's head back to the desk with Jenny Rigney for sports.
Thanks, Brendan. Oklahoma Christian swim team had a record-breaking outing at the RMAC Championships. For the women's team, sophomore Jamie McGarrigle made history as the program's first A-level finalist, placing 8th in the 500-yard freestyle, breaking OC's record as well. The next day, McGarrigle made it into her second A final in the 100-meter butterfly, placing in 7th. Freshman Maggie Farley broke the school record for the 1,650-yard freestyle. Sophomore Riley Pallison broke the school record for the 200-yard backstroke. In the 400 freestyle relay made up of McGarrigle, Rogers, Badillo, and Webster broke the school record set last year. For the men's team, Brandon Harita became OC's first RMAC event champion by winning the 100-yard freestyle. Another big award goes to Bergen Davis, who was named the league's Freshman of the Year. Also, the 800 freestyle relay team took home a silver medal on Friday. Noah Woolweaver also took home an individual silver medal in the 100-yard backstroke. And both Eagle basketball teams traveled all the way down to Laredo, Texas on Thursday to play Texas A&M International, then played St. Mary's on Saturday. For the Lady Eagles, they were able to secure their third Heartland Road win against the Dust Devils with a final score of 71-54. Lady Eagles were led on Thursday by Addie Clift, who scored 23 points. Katie Mayo scored 16, Megan Shelton scored 10, and Tyra Peck scored 8. On Saturday, the results were unfortunately not the same against St. Mary's. Though the Lady Eagles started off hot and led by as much as 13 points in the first half, the Rattlers were able to come back, defeating the Eagles 94-71. Though Cliff scored 38 points during the game, she also hit another milestone, becoming only the 5th player in OC history to score 2,000 career points. She also set another Heartland record with her season point total of 658 points. The Lady Eagles play again on Saturday in Lubbock, Texas against the Chaparrals. And the men's basketball team also had a very successful Thursday evening. Senior Will Linhart had a near-perfect game, going 8 for 8 from the field and had 14 rebounds and a career-high 20 points against the Dust Devils. Roderick Smith also scored 20 points, Jordan Box scored 18, and Aubrey Johnson had 16. The Eagles defeated the Dust Devils 89-64. Then in San Antonio against the Rattlers, the Eagles played a tight game, rallying back to within 1 point after a 13-point deficit, but were able to come out with a win, losing 74-69. The men play again at home against Dallas Baptist this Thursday at 7 p.m. And the Lady Eagles softball team played in Part 2 of the Edmond Regional Festival this past weekend. The Lady Eagles played Southwestern Oklahoma State, beating them 8-0. Then they beat SMU 8-0, against Northwestern State 8-2, and finally defeating UCCS 6-4. The Eagles are at an impressive 12-1 record on the season. The Lady Eagles enter conference play on Thursday against the conference favorite St. Mary's in San Antonio, Texas. This has been your Eagle Sports Report. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Spring Sing is coming up so fast.
Next week.
I know. It's crazy.
Oh, it's coming around.
I feel like I've worked my tail off trying to get this show done, and it's just...
I'm so sore. It's all I've done this whole semester. I don't know how I'm going to live with it ending.
No, I know. Well, thank you for joining us here on Eagle Angle, where it's your campus.
Your news.